Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Heather. I am a homeschooling mom of 3 kiddos, and we are going into our 11th year of homeschooling. If you're not subscribed, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you are notified of all of my future videos. And just a reminder that everything that I talk about in this video will be listed in the description box below if you're looking for any of those resources. Today I am going to be talking about some of our summer homeschool plans. So because we are year-round homeschoolers, we do some work during the summer. Now that does not mean that we are sitting down at a table for 6 hours a day doing seat work. That is not a thing in our home. However, we do have some guided learning throughout the summer, and part of the reason is my kids do better with a little bit of learning most days, and it helps fight the boredom, and it does help them manage their time better, and there's a lot less bickering when they have a little bit of something to do. Now, it does not mean that we don't take any time off. We do take time off, but we usually try and do schoolish type things a few times a week, and not for many hours, but just a couple of hours in the morning or when it's really hot in the afternoon and the kids don't want to be outside. So I'm going to share with you some of those resources, and so let's get started. The first set of resources that I'm going to share is actually an unboxing video that I did a couple videos back. I will leave a link for that, and it is all of the summer readers that we have for the kids. I purchase the summer readers selections every year from Sunlight because they vet the books, they pre-read the books, and it makes it easier for me to choose books. My kids love to read, just like I love to read, and keeping them in books can be a challenge. So I'm always looking for good book lists, and this is one way to do that. So I will leave a link for that unboxing video so you can see all of the books that my kids will most likely be reading this summer. The second thing that we will be using is it's a subscription service. It's called CuriosityStream. If you have not heard of it, it is a streaming documentary service. So right now, if you're watching this when the video goes live, they're having a great sale. It's like $12 for a year of unlimited streaming of all of their documentaries. I think they have like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 documentaries, and we actually use CuriosityStream throughout the year. Whenever my kids are interested in some sort of history or science topic, we tend to go there to see if there is a documentary about it. It works well when my kids don't feel well, or if they need like a mental health day throughout the year, just to have something educational to watch. And so I still feel like we are doing some learning, even if it isn't exactly what I had planned out for the day. So in the summer, I do let them pretty much have free reign on any documentaries that they want to watch. There are like child safety settings if you feel the need to use those for the service. It's really a great deal, and especially for history and science, there's so many different options to add to your curriculum choices for the year. But in the summer, it just gives me something to say. If it's like a rainy day, why don't you choose a documentary to watch? And so I will leave a link for that in the description box if you're interested in using that. The next thing that we will be using is actually these Evan-Moor daily summer activities books. I will turn the camera around in a couple of minutes and show you, sort of do a little flip through of those books. We do not do a whole lot of worksheets in our home. My kids tend to go back and forth. I know that when they're younger, they tend to enjoy them more, but I did want to try these out. It's, you get them so I have 3 different levels: K going into 1st, 5th going into 6th, and then 7th going into 8th. And it just gives you like 10 weeks, I think, of activities to do, little daily activities. These are not something that is going to take a really long time for the kids to go through, but it just keeps their brain active, and that is part of the reason that we do year-round homeschooling, so that they never get into a rhythm of just like taking several months off from school. We're always moving forward. We may move at a slower pace because we do school more weeks than a normal school would, or more days for like a public school, but it helps them to just keep their brain active. And none of this stuff is going to be a big requirement for the summer. It's just something that I can say, okay, well, we're going to take this hour of time and we're going to do some reading. We're going to work on a couple of worksheets. And, maybe this afternoon we will watch a documentary and talk about it. It is not a stressful time. It is really just me giving the kids another option of something that they can do with their time, especially when we have not really been going out of the house or doing a whole lot of stuff for the past year. I'm hoping that this summer changes that we're able to get out more. But this is sort of a backup for us. And then the last thing that we are going to be doing is really something that Emma and I are concentrating on. If you watched my wrap-up video, you will know that we had a really hard time with the Apologia physical science and lab this year. And it was not because of the content, it was more because of the way that it was presented. When I purchased it, everything was on a DVD, and that just did not work for my daughter. She needed, physical books in front of her to read and to write out her answers. Doing everything on the computer that way, it did not work. Part of it was because our computers that have CD drives are so old and they just don't work so well. Anyways, so Emma and I are starting up the physical science from Apologia again. It is the 2nd edition. I purchased the textbook from christianbook.com and the notebook that goes with it that has places for labs and data and, writing lab reports and the tests and everything like that. So we are going to be sort of accelerating through that. We've done some of the work. We had done some of the work already. So I'm planning on just powering through this summer and helping her finish that course so that she has it done. We did do other science during the year, but I really wanted to finish this course. So we're going to work on that this summer, and because it's her only real subject that she's going to be working on, it's not going to be that big of a deal, for us to sit down for an hour and work through science. And science is one of her favorite subjects, so I'm not really that concerned about it. So now I'm going to turn the camera around and I will walk you through some of these Evan-Moor summer activities books. So let's walk through those books now. So these are the workbooks that I got from Evan-Moor. I do want to point out that it says correlated to current standards, and obviously we are homeschoolers, and so we do not have to follow the public school standards in our state. So if there are things in these books that maybe you have not covered, that is okay. This is really just to give your kids something else to do during the summer that is educational and will help keep their brains active. So I have the between grades K and 1 for Lucy, for Jack between grades 5 and 6, and then for Emma between grades 7 and 8. And so I'm just going to show you a little bit in these. You open it up and it does have skills that you're going to work on and which week you're working on those skills. It has suggestions for books to read. This is the Between K and 1 book. It has some ideas on how to use it. These are perforated pages, so you can tear them out if that would be easier for your child. And then each week you just go through. You don't have to flip back and forth to different sections. It just has, a little activity for you to do each day. So it has some letters and numbers and your spelling words at the beginning of the week. Yes, so it has some spelling words to work on. And then just, some little activities to work on throughout the week, something to give your child something to do. So each week it seems to have, color for each page you finish. And then it has a place for the parents to put their initials if your child is working on this on their own. It has some new spelling words, a place to draw one thing you did each day of the week, and keeping track of every time you read, and what your favorite book was and why you liked it. And obviously with this age, you can write that down for your child. You don't have to have them write it, or if they want to, that's also fine. And then you move into the daily pages where you can just do a little activity each day, something really quick. It does have on the bottom, it says, Tuesday, Wednesday, and which week, if you're following it that way. Most likely I will be using these whenever we feel the need, and then I let my kids do as many pages as they want. It has an answer key in the back, and then it also has some stickers right at the end that you can use to help encourage your child as you go through the different weeks. So that is Between K and 1. They do have these, I believe, between grades 7 and 8. They might have 8 and 9. I will leave a link in the description box for the summer activity books from Evan-Moor if you are interested. So this is between grades 5 and 6. It starts the same way. Contents, it talks about the skills that you're going to work on and which week you cover those skills, and then how to use the book. And then in this book particularly, it has a list of all of the weekly spelling words so that you have a list up front. And then it has what you will be working on each day and your spelling words, and then a little place to get creative. So again, the same with the earlier book. It has a place to sort of record what happened during the week. So a memorable moment, and then your reading record, and describe a character you read about this week. Then this obviously looks a lot different than the Between Grades K and 1. So there's some nonfiction and some comprehension questions, correcting the sentence, math, spelling, and then some creative writing, some more language arts and math, and then reading some fiction and more comprehension questions. Actually, these are not comprehension questions. These are just summary type questions. Vocabulary, more language, and again, it does have on the bottom the day of the week if you want to follow these. If you want to, do one page each day, that's certainly something that you can do, or you can really use them however you want to. And then it moves into the next week. And that's how it kind of goes throughout the book. Different spelling words each week, a little bit of geography, which is good. We haven't really done a lot of geography in our home, which I need to work on that a little bit more. I like that it has some different types of math, especially with the fractions and the decimals. I think that's something that Jack really needs to work on. So a little bit of solar system in math, which is always fun. And then again at the back, it does have all of the answers for the questions, which is helpful. You know, you don't really need it in the early grades, but once they start having to read stories and write out comprehension questions, it just saves you a little bit of time. And then in the back, it has a place for some summer journaling. There are no stickers in this book, which, I mean, my kids, even Emma at 13, loves stickers, so I might just give her some stickers as well. And then we have the between grades 7 and 8 daily summer activities. And again, it's the same thing. There's 10 weeks. The skills that you're going to work on, how to use the book, and then it moves in similar to between grades 5 and 6, giving you exactly what you're working on each day if you feel like it. So I think that it's going to be pretty similar throughout these books. They're going to work on things just a little bit more difficult. There is still some fun stuff here. Vocabulary, working on homophones, plotting coordinates, which is something that Emma really enjoyed doing last year, or in pre-algebra she liked that. Some geography, more spelling words. I do like that they have all of the spelling words right at the beginning. It can give, your kid, you can give them a dictionary and have them look up all the words so they know what the words mean. And then you go through. Again, it's pretty basic, just, a couple of fun activities, or, they may or may not be fun depending on your child. But I think that this is great. It's not a whole lot of work to do. These will probably take, 10 minutes to work through. Like I said, this is not about having hours and hours of work for your child to work on during the summer. It is more just having the opportunity to keep your brain engaged in learning, so that there isn't a lot of backward movement before you start your new school year. So it goes right through to the end, same as before, the answer key, and then like the between 5 and 6, there is a summer journal, and no stickers. So these are just 3 of the options for these daily summer activities. They do have other grades. Like I said before, I will leave a link in the description box for you. And they do have other options for workbooks, like these skill sharpeners for pre-K through 6. They do have all kinds of different options, and they do have homeschool packages if you really like a workbook based curriculum. Evan-Moor has a lot of different options. And one of the things that you can do on their website is actually go through and see every single page of every single workbook that they have. You can't print them, but you can just go through and see if it's something that will work for your child. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to hear what your plans are for the summer. Do you continue to do some school, a couple of days a week, or maybe in the mornings, or if it's really hot in the afternoons? I would love to hear what you do. Or if you take the entire summer off, I'd love to hear about that as well. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.